This is U2 C4L3, adding and subtracting like fractions. Here's Mr. Romanovich.
Hi. This is really a week later. And I've just picked the same outfit today that I did before. I'm going to have to talk to wardrobe. Okay, so we're going to be adding and subtracting like fractions. And by the end of this, you're not going to believe this. You will be able to say, I can add or subtract like fractions. And be able to do, I know you can say that probably now, and be able to do these two problems. I'll have them at the end, so don't worry about pausing now. If you want to pause to get your titles on and your I can statement, do that. Here's your face. Okay. Let's do vocab first. What is a like fraction? Because nobody likes fractions. So like fractions are fractions where the denominators are the same. So if I were to write down these three fractions, and let's try 3/7. I bet you could pick out which two were the like fractions. Oh, that's right. It's these two. And eventually what we'll see is that when we're doing unlike fractions, we will then turn them into like fractions by using the lowest common denominator, just like in our last episode. That's what I was going to say, episode. So, all right, here we go. Let's do some problems so you see what we're talking about. Here's my first example. So I have -3/5 plus -1/5. And what you're going to realize now is that Unit 1 was all about getting the adding and subtracting of positives and negatives down so that then we can incorporate rationals into that so we have a bigger number set to work with. So key for me in doing this, because we're like right at the beginning of doing this, we understand that we already have common denominators, so I don't have to do that work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my dance floor first. Then I'm going to look at my denominators. And since my denominator doesn't change, and you know that, my denominator doesn't change, I know that my denominator is still going to be 5. Now, I want to put my dancers on the dance floor. And my dancers are going to be -3 and -1. And what are we going to do with them? We're going to add them. So I have -3 plus -1. And by now you're like, that's it? That's all we're doing? Yes, that's all we're doing. So don't freak out about this denominator. All we're doing is working on the dance floor. So now it is time to dance. And this is example 1, not 2. Oops. -3 plus -1 is -4. And -4 is dancing on 5. That's it. Ready? Let's do another one. Did you move that already?
Yes.
Great. Now I have -5/8 minus 3/8. So here we go with some of our integer work now. First I'm going to draw my dance floor. Then I'm going to look at this and say I already have my denominators, so I'm just going to put my 8s down here. And then I look at what the dancers are going to be. I've got a -5 and a +3, and I'm going to subtract them. And what we want to do, you know what we want to do. We want to do addition. So some of you probably already see this as what it is, but for some of us, we're still kind of doing that Unit 1 work. And if we're doing our Unit 1 work, we can rewrite this top expression as -5 plus -3, and we can put that over our 8. And when you see that, you're like, I can see what's coming. I see what you did there. We're going to end up with -8 over 8. And now here's that other part of Unit 1. -8 over 8. So -8/8. You know that equals -1. Because they have different signs. A negative divided by a positive gives us a negative. Let's try one more. Here we go. -11/12 and -5/12. First, since we're doing like, I'm just going to draw my dance floor, bring my denominator down. Let's get the dancers. -11 minus -5 Some of you are going, got it, I know it already, that's so simple. We know when we subtract a negative, we are really adding a positive. So let's rewrite it as negative 11 plus 5 over 12. And then we just simplify or solve what's on the dance floor. Negative 11 plus 5 is negative 6 over 12. And right there, you know exactly where this is going to, which I think I've said like 10 times now, so I'm kind of sick of it myself. That simplifies to negative 1/2. And I feel like I'm one of you taking my tests and just kind of fitting the numbers in the corner of the paper. Good luck finding it, Mr. Romanovich. So let's look at the target. Can you hit this target? Here we go. We've got two like fractions. In the first one here, we've got 1/2 plus negative 3/2. Draw your dance floor, put your dancers on, do the dancing, and then you have your answer and simplify it if you need it. And then we have 2/7 minus 5/7. Same process, okay? I know you can do it. If you have any questions, ask me, ask Ms. Benoit, she's right there. Ask Ms. Purdue, she's right over there. You can rewind this and watch this again. Not really rewind, is it? You just click and or pause. I'm done. Good luck.